Apparently, Poetik Flakko and your Godfather's Godfather, O'Shea Duke Jackson, got a tiny little smidgen of beef.
It's about 11 a.m. this morning and I'm out for my walk because you know I'm fat and trying to lose this weight. And all of a sudden, I get a message from one of my YouTube partners.
Oh, I thought he was indicating that he was training so he could shoot the fair one with Flakko. That's what made me click on this.
And it says, I think Flakko alluded to you around the midpoint of this video. And then I said, what did he say exactly? I haven't talked to Poetik Flakko in a minute. I mean, like, I don't have no problem with him or anything like that. He's a nice guy. I think he's an elite commentator in what he's doing. So we would not really have any problems. And to be honest, this video that he did was actually very, very good. It was called Godfrey Loses All of His Fans After Betraying Black Americans in New Pot.
Yeah, we did a reaction to that. You can check that out too.
I thought it was a fair video.
Real bigotry is saying that an entire group of people shouldn't be able to make a living and feed their families and start a business, and they want those businesses shut down because they belong to an immigrant group. That's real bigotry. That's wrong. Real bigotry, not a Drewski skit, is creating a racial slur for an entire group of people and then spamming that racial slur.
That's Flacco's personal thing because, you know, he from Africa or whatever, but he fits in with us. So when he hear people talk stuff, he be like, he be looking sideways.
I said, uh-oh, I'm hearing bigotry allegations.
Bigotry!
The point that he's trying to make here is that there is a difference between criticism and bigotry. And people who are using the term like tether, some of the people in the hashtag FBA community on X use that term, but he accuses
they may be known for that.
Somebody of just wanting businesses shut down simply because they belong to an immigrant group. So I was like, that can't be me, right? And then,
yo, there was somebody, and this is like an OG on YouTube, bruh. Now, again, I'll never diss this person. I'll never disrespect this person. Like, I'll never say nothing bad about this person because, yo, this person really helped me out. They hopped on the phone with me, gave me a free consultation, walked me through how to build my channel, gave me like the systems, and I applied that to grow. So I would never, ever, ever say nothing bad about this person. I was just heartbroken and really, really.
So why you don't answer my phone calls, Flakko?
Really hurt, bro. Because, again, like I don't know if this person helped me out before he found out I was African.
Okay, now I know who he's talking about.
What make you think, O'Shea, you may be dealing with a little bit of illusions of grandeur. I don't know if he's talking about you. I don't think because you helped him out before.
And he's definitely talking about me. So guys, let me just say this. I don't like to really toot my horn because I've helped a lot of content creators. Many you know, a lot of folks you don't know about. But Poetik Flakko was probably the latest one, you know, that I kind of gave a strategy to, which is what he used to kind of blow up. He's a better commentator and a better content creator than me now. And that is absolutely the truth. And I'm very proud of his work ethic. I never asked anything from him. I never want to even really mention this or anything like that. But I want to prove to you that he is talking about me. And here's our Instagram DMs. Now I'm not going to go into all of it. So just that you know.
It say, Big Dog O'Shea, thanks for the advice a year ago, bro. I'm for sure gearing up to move to Liberia and just do YouTube from there and stack up. That's what Flakko was going to do? How do we know this is even for Flakko? Let me see.
About me. And here's our Instagram.
Oh, yeah. It's Flakko up top. But I don't know who this guy is. You sure you was talking to Flakko? I'm trying to get the game. Analytics and see the subjects my audience care about most. Yeah, hell yeah.
DMs. Now I'm not going to go into all of it. So just that you know that this is about me, okay? He says on May 20th, Big Dog O'Shea, thanks for the advice a year ago, bro. I'm for sure gearing up to move to Liberia and just do YouTube from there and stack up. Okay, so let's kind of get into this idea of that I didn't know he was African. So if you see here, he's talking about moving to Liberia, which means that I already knew that he was Liberian. And maybe he forgot that we talked about this on the phone, but I have interviewed many people from Liberia. Let's talk about Royda.
I still don't think he's talking about you, O'Shea. I think you tripping.
Ure. Okay.
You just wanted to make a video. Is this part of the strategy? Let me know.
Before. On my Kinganda channel, I've interviewed Zawadi M. Okay, from Liberia. So
she's like Cheryl Underwood.
So this whole idea of that O'Shea doesn't work with you if he knows that you're African, you know, it's asinine, right?
Ain't you
and
in
I'm not
Africa?
trying to say that he's lying about this, because Poetik Flakko is putting out so much content so fast and it's kind of unscripted. Maybe he forgets. And again, it's been a long time ago, but this is simply not true. And I have some other proof.
And you know who did the magic? A big shout out to my...
You know this dude African. I don't even know him, but I'll bet your bottom dollar he African. Anyway, but what I'm saying, I think O'Shea just wanted to make a video. Is this part of the strategy? I really think it is. You know, in my personal philosophy, all of this is like wrestling. It's like WWE. Everybody playing their little characters or whatever. And O'Shea's character is your godfather's godfather. He's been around a long time. He look out for people. He do stuff. And he knows the strategies to get your joint popping. Hit me up, O'Shea. Damn. I ain't send no cash. I'm going to send a, go live. I'm going to send you something, son.
Father, O'Shea Duke Jackson. He said, hey, Maya, you told me to come to Uganda. But I know what happened to you. I'm telling you that the people of Uganda are way better than what happened at the airport. So my brother, I'm buying your wife and you a ticket to Uganda.
Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy.
So did O'Shea bring him to Uganda, or he brought O'Shea to Uganda?
O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Can I have a big round of applause to my brother, O'Shea Duke Jackson?
So guys, if you don't know who that dude is, this is Wody Maya. Okay, at one time, this was a really, really close friends of mine. We don't really talk as much anymore. He's my brother. People go through things in life. And I brought him to Uganda out of my own money.
Oh, you brought him?
Him,
okay.
Miss Trudy, his whole staff. I paid for that in 2023. He was deported from Uganda even the first time he came, right? I never really put this out there like he did so much, but he put it out there. He wanted his audience to know something about me. And then
you should do a course, O'Shea. People would trust you. I'm not saying because Flakko got a course going on. I'm thinking about jumping on, but people would certainly, come on, man, you O'Shea. You do a course, I mean, maybe you're getting so much paper you don't need to do that. But if you do a course, you hit him in the head, son.
One who paid for my tickets to come to Uganda. And even when I came to Uganda, my wife pulled up a surprise birthday party in Uganda, and O'Shea Duke Jackson paid for everything.
Hey.
His surprise birthday party, I paid for it. I didn't put that out there. He put it out there. The same thing with Poetik Flakko. I didn't put that information out there. He put it out there. And the reason why I don't feel like I need to take credit for what Poetik Flakko has done is because he's a good brother. I want him to be successful, and he don't owe me anything. He really don't, and I'm proud of the brother. Same thing with Wody Maya. He said I mentored him to a certain degree, helped him out a little bit, but it was his work ethic. He did it on his own, and yeah, if I could help, I'm glad. But you know what? I'm proud of both of them, okay? And then there's this.
I want to give you a job, be the host of the Pan-African Dating Show. And I'm like, what? I think most of you know the Pan-African Dating Show. I start hosting the Pan-African
Dating Show. You still doing that?
Is
O'Shea still doing the Pan-African Dating Show? You still doing that? I was watching it a little bit a couple years ago.
Hosting the Pan-African Dating Show. This person says, I want you to leave your place where you are living, so you come to an apartment. What? You know, as a woman, a young woman, you know me, I have issues with men. Never received any care from a man. I don't know my father. And I know any person who is a man who shows any care towards me, they just want to sleep with me. And that's on period.
He never made you bust it open. That's what's up. Yo, shout out to O'Shea, man. That's what you wanted, O'Shea. Come on, man. We know. Because I don't think Flakko was talking about you. I just still don't.
So that's what I thought. This person buys me a laptop. This person pays for my transport, pays for my food, he pays for my accommodation, and he still pays my salary. And this person wants nothing from me. He's literally just like a father figure.
So if you guys know about my other channel called the Pan-African Dating Show, here's a young lady by the name of Esther Nadakunda. This was January 1st, 2026. She made this video about your boy. And she was basically saying I was a father figure to her. Now, the reason why I'm coming with this many receipts to kind of prove myself is because Poetik Flakko is acting like I wouldn't help him if he was African. When we talked about this on the phone, that he was trying to get to Liberia, I wanted him to help get back to Liberia. We talked about the Ure family, who was prominent in Liberia, who are Americo-Liberian. And then also, you know what the biggest issue is with his statement? I live in Uganda.
Right. That's why I know you're not talking about you.
I've brought so many people to Ugandan. Jonita on the King Ghana podcast is Ugandan. So many people that I work with are African. I work in the Pan-African space. I have the largest repat podcast on the planet. I don't even really advertise it over here. So I don't know who he's talking about. And like I said, I largely think that he just probably forgot about this, or he was just really biased himself. But then again, he would continue.
Because, again, like I don't know if this person helped me out before he found out I was African, or I don't know if he would help me if he knew I was African. But I watched a video where this person is essentially like going along with all the harmful rhetoric that this other guy has about people who's from where I'm from. And I'm like, damn, bro, like, they can't help that they were born here. They don't like they don't choose who their parents are. They were born here, and they're trying to make a better life for themselves.
And see, another reason, that's why I don't think it's O'Shea, because I watched a lot of O'Shea stuff. I never really heard him go extreme on immigrants. That don't even make sense. I heard him point out, I mean, you can't say that certain stereotypes don't exist. Certain people don't look down on Black Americans. You can't say that these things don't exist, but I never heard O'Shea go particularly hard on anybody from anywhere else. Honestly, he's like pro-Black all around the board.
The fact that you're supporting this dude who's saying that those people don't have a right to have a business, to operate their business, and they need to be boycotted and shut down because somebody from the same country as them did something wrong is bad and is foul and is not cool.
So basically, he's saying, I just want somebody to be boycotted and don't have a right to have a business or operate their business, and they need to be boycotted because they did something wrong. Now,
were we talking about the Asian situation? Because that's a little bit different. If you ask me, in many cases, that is parasitic, particularly when you start talking about like hair stores and stuff like that. Yeah, we need to get up off of them. But not even as a boycott, just as a general rule, we should be building more infrastructure for our own stuff. We should own the hair on our head, at very least.
I mean, I don't know. He probably mad at me right now. He didn't have a clip that he could really pull that I'm saying this about Africans. But okay, I did make some videos about the African boycotts, and it was Black women complaining about stuff like this.
I ain't got time to be driving 5 hours to go to the city I was born in to get my hair done. I don't think nobody up here gonna do it. And the Africans, they not pulling my hair out.
And
all right, let me start out by saying, if the background looks familiar, then please do not tag or mention them, because I'm not trying to bash nobody's business. But I had a terrible experience there. And when I say I got my ass up and I went over to Cunty Hair Braiding on Instagram, baby. Now you see how packed it was. It was very packed in there. But girl, they got right to it. The braider, Sally, she even gave me some food. Y'all, she ate them braids up.
And to even make things worse, here's an African lady complaining about African braid shop.
It's been almost a week, so I'm finally ready to tell you guys about the worst braiding experience I've ever had in LA by an African braider. And the fact that she's African is very important because so am I, so let me get into that. So this is a hair salon, Isata hair salon, braiding, whatever. And honestly, I should have known better from those 2.1 stars. But I was just like, it's an African auntie. Sometimes they're a lot different from these American braiders. They have different ways of communicating, and I can see why someone can give them a low review, but I'm like, let me just trust them.
Now, the reason why I showed those in succession is because this was the reason for why a lot of Black Americans were talking about boycotting Africans, because of the lack of service and the entitlement of behavior. Now, what Poetik Flakko is addressing is they have the right to be a business. You're just trying to paint them with a broad brush because they're African, instead of addressing the argument. And the argument is that a lot of African businesses, whether they're in Africa or in America, have a problem with customer service, not even with just Blacks, but...
Oh, you talking about that's Black businesses, period. And not all of them, of course. I don't want to hear about how great your service is at your restaurant. I'm not talking about that. I mean, by and large, you can come to a Black restaurant and nobody at the counter, man. Don't act like you never seen that before. They give you an attitude like you owe them money or something.
Their own groups. In fact, you hear it more with their own groups. I see it all the time when I hear about folks in America. I used to live in the East Coast. It was a problem then. So the whole idea is that if you're not gonna provide quality service, you don't need to be in business. And see, for people that are like Poetik Flakko, they're Liberian or they're from another place and they come into American, while you're an American citizen, you gotta remember, you are still a minority amongst the blacks. So now when people deal with you, you gotta have some level of value. And that's what I'm talking about, because when I live in Uganda or when I go across Kenya or wherever it is in the community that I be across, I gotta give value to people. I gotta operate in the right way. I gotta pay my way. I gotta respect people. Otherwise,
right, because if not, they're gonna say it's you. He came here from America. You brought the American spirit.
I'm in a
lazy black Americans. What they call it? Akata. I don't know. I never got called that, but whatever.
Out of trouble. And when I talk about the fact that when black Americans deal with Africans, it's more one-sided than anything. And again, he already admitted that I helped him, didn't ask for anything.
He talking about you.
If you want to talk about it, if you want to ask Poetik Flakko for some help right now, he gonna charge you.
Facts. That's why he answered my emails, my calls and stuff. All right.
It ain't like he doing it for free or anything. The real problem is he took a bigoted perspective because he is African and because he doesn't like some of the things that I'm saying.
Struck a nerve.
So what he actually did was paint me with a broad brush instead of listening to what I was saying. I never said that Africans should be boycotted, and I never said that because somebody's African they need to be canceled. I just showed plenty of evidence that I've done a lot to help the Pan-African space or help Africans in general, including him. And he told me he was from Liberia. I knew he was from Liberia before we ever got on the call because I used to watch No Jumper, and it was clear that Poetik Flakko was not a black American, and I knew that because you lived in North Dakota. But again, I'm not gonna call the brother a liar. Like I said,
that's where the Liberians at, North Dakota. Is that why you're from there? I didn't know that. That's what's up. Shout out to the Africans in North Dakota, apparently.
He's busy, and that's probably one of the reasons why I haven't heard from him. And he don't owe me nothing. Again, he's a better commentator than me. He's more successful right now on YouTube than I am, and I don't want nothing but the best for him. But the one problem about a person like Poetik Flakko is that you fail to see things largely from somebody else's perspective, and that's what a bigot does. A bigot believes what they believe, and then what they do is deny somebody else's experience. So you never asked, why do those black Americans want business to be boycotted? Your response was, well, see, it's not fair that a couple businesses made mistakes, then it affects the larger group. Let me tell you something here in Uganda. If I make a mistake as a black American, the larger group pays the penalty. This is the same thing that's happening right now. If you go and look at what's going on in South Africa, a few migrants can literally ruin it for everybody. This is the same case with
who migrated in South Africa? People from other parts of Africa.
You can see some brothers from Nigeria having issues. Zimbabwe, I was in Poland. That was the case there. A few mess it up for all. And then look at the Somalis, same thing. A few, or at least what we leave, let's say, assume it's a few, mess it up for a lot. And instead of focusing on the few and why are you not giving good services in your business, it seems like what he wants to be able to do is, hey, y'all can do whatever y'all want in business, and then you should accept it because we all black and we got all the same oppressor. And now when people want to start delineating like black.
But it's people that live off of that. Like that's their whole grift. Buy from me because I am black and let me relax and do stuff, whatever I want to do because I'm black, and don't do that to me. Don't harm me. Don't try to take down a black man or a woman.
Like America.